All right, we are on day 7. You made it through your first week. Congratulations. Now, this whole week was about what? Resetting that emotional atmosphere, right? Like resetting, like getting some softness, some connection, some hope again. So we need to lock in what we went over this week, because tomorrow we're going to start getting into some skill building and communication specifically. All right. So I don't want you to default though as we go into the skill building, because nothing destroys progress more than just falling back into the old energy, because now it's like, I knew it wasn't real, right? Because your repetition becomes your reputation. So we can't stop that emotional connection. We have to keep it going. Deal? This is how we're going to stabilize what we've done. So look, consistency is what your partner needs to see in you. Because your consistency speaks louder than words, speaks louder than emotion. Your partner doesn't trust words right now. Your partner probably doesn't trust promises right now. Your partner doesn't trust, I'll do better. I'll try. I'm going to do better, I promise. Doesn't trust that right now. And honestly, why should they, right? There's been some things going on where there's been some hurts. There's, on both sides. So people trust patterns, not moments. People trust, something that they've seen like for a consistent period of time. That's more trustworthy than just ups and downs. So today, the mindset is different. This is how I want you to think today. I prove the change with consistency, not emotion. I prove the change with consistency, not emotion. Not big speeches where I'm like, I'm going to be trying now. Not with that. Not dramatic talks where you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it this time. It's not about that. It's not about proving yourself. It's not about over-explaining. It's just clear, steady behavior. Like, it's just you being consistent. That's what it's about. That's what's going to create trust. We're 7 days into it. We need to keep this going, because that consistency makes your partner feel what? Safe again. So now that, because in the beginning, the first few days, it's like, is this real? Kind of suspicious, right? So because you're in day 7, you're going to keep this going. It's like, wow, 2 weeks into it, it's going to lower that suspicion. It's going to lower the defensive. It's going to start to create hope without forcing it. That's what we're going into. So have hope in yourself. Know what we're building here, because this week wasn't about fixing the marriage. It was about showing your partner that you're safe, you're stable, you're not here to fight. Okay, so today we need to really lock that in, so that way we're not, forgetting that as we go into skill building when it comes to communication, because this is important. It's stability over intensity. It's that stability and safety over, I'm going to try. No, they just really need stability and safety, and we need to create that. Okay, so today is going to be about one thing. Don't rush the process. I just want you to stabilize the progress. Don't rush the process. Yes, it's been a week. Awesome. Okay, and you probably started to feel some good little shifts. You see her a little bit softer, right? You don't see as much maybe pain or hate in the eyes, yes or no? So we don't want to rush the process. Don't be like, okay, it's been a week and she's a little softer. She's talking to me, so things are okay. Let's go back to how it was. Do not do that. Because if you go back to how it was, it's going to trigger those defenses, that fear again, and you can start all this over again. Okay, so don't rush the process. We need to stabilize the progress that we've made. Look, everybody wants, I don't want you to have the wrong mindset and get rushed here and think that, okay, now we have enough trust or momentum, Richard, that, we're just going to have a good talk now. I'm just going to have a big talk, and there's going to be a big breakthrough moment and a deep emotional conversation, and we're going to cry and we're going to forgive each other, and then it's just going to go away. No, I don't want you to think that way. This is how marriages re-break, right? The relationship isn't ready for that depth and that heaviness yet. So we need to have some consistency on the table to bring some stability, so that way there is safety there, so that way it's strong enough to have that kind of weighty conversation. right? And you have already started creating the stability. Like, we want to keep this going though. You've started it and you need to lock it in. What have you been doing? Just think about this, because we need to keep this going. You're slowing down your reactions. Remember the tone? Softening your tone, right? Using clarity instead of assumptions. You're asking. You're leading with calm tone rather than freaking loud or chaos. Like, you're offering appreciation in the things that you see that she's doing, that you appreciate, that you're actually saying it now, you're recognizing it. All these things are starting to bring down the tension in your relationship, in your home, and starting to slowly rebuild the safety, but you can't rush that. See, your new job is to stabilize those habits. All those things that we started to do this week, now you need to stabilize them. You need to make sure that it's going to show your partner, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep doing this. Right? So today, I want you to think of controlled pace, like a marathon, emotional discipline, restraint, right? Like, this is part of the foundation that you're building. And I don't want you to get rushed or start like, okay, we've made it a week. No, we need to really keep it serious. The foundation is forming. So don't shake it and mess it up by pushing too fast or thinking that you're okay now. Okay, yes, have hope. Yes, enjoy. Yes, be thankful. But we need to still be very consistent right now, okay? So what's your action for today? So for today I want you to create a day of peace. This is what today you create a full day of peace. So no drama, no deep talks, no confronting old issues, no emotional freaking bombs or triggers, just peace. Say it with me. Peace. Peace, right? So I want you to think, okay, what does this mean, Richard? I want you to create a day of peace. Let's see if you can create a day of peace, meaning you control your tone. You're avoiding those landmines, those sensitive topics. You're not going to go there today, okay? You're going to reduce those unnecessary comments that you don't need to be making that are negative. They're going to maybe trigger something. Like, get rid of them. Don't bring in those old problems and wounds and stories. Don't test the progress. Don't mess around right now. This is not time to do that. I want a day of peace. Okay, you keep things light, calm, stable, right? You're focusing on appreciation, cooperation, not confrontation. Like a day of peace. Can you do that? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to go and fake happiness and I'm not saying that. It just means you protect the atmosphere that you've been building and you want to bring peace, because most couples, they never experience a day of intentional peace. What a gift that you can give and create for your partner. You're giving your marriage something that hasn't been felt in a very long time. It's a break. It's kind of like, white flag, like, okay, surrender. Let's just have a day of peace. That's what I want you to create. You're giving your marriage something that it hasn't experienced in doubts. It's a reminder of it resets the nervous system in both of you, and especially to experience it on the same day together, it changes the nervous system of your relationship, and that is what we want to focus on today. That's what I want you to focus on today. So at the end of today, think of did I create a day of peace? Did I avoid those unnecessary, drama talks? Did I stay calm even if I didn't feel like it? Or was I poking issues? Or was I avoiding that? Did the day feel lighter today? So I want you to be clear on this, because today is about creating a day of calm, a day of peace. Okay? Because even if it felt a little bit better, hey, that means your foundation is holding, right? And if the day was dramatically calmer, then man, this is going to create a big momentum for this next week, right? So this is good stuff. I want you to be aware of the peace that you're creating and how it's being enjoyed. Let's bring this together. Look, remember the seed that you need to plant? Hey, I'm glad that we're enjoying this peace today. this peaceful time together today. Just plant a seed. Okay? I'm glad today was peaceful. Say it to her at some point today. So look, this entire week was about resetting the atmosphere, the energy in your marriage. And you've been doing a good job. I know it's not perfect, but it's not about perfection. It's about establishing connection again, right? Because consistency, remember, this is our mindset. This is how we're going to close this week. Consistency is louder than emotion. Consistency is louder than your words, right? So this is our mindset. We need to keep this going. And the skill is you being stable, not just like, okay, I'm going to fix it. No, it's you being stable and long-term. Not just intensity, but stability. She wants to see that. And today is a day of peace, right? Day of peace. So tomorrow we're going to begin the second phase. We're going to start to build skill sets when it comes to communication, a communication that actually works with your partner, right? So enjoy your day of peace, keep yourself accountable, and tomorrow we start to build your skill set of better communication. See you there.